It's Saturday the 4th of June and June and Samantha are about to go off to tennis, and of course it's quite predictable what's going to happen. But before we get to that, here we are, video, Robin's corner, and I must point out the birthday present that June got for me. That was in May. Very thoughtful woman, she knows what I like. Point out a few things. A lot of people think that is an owl box, but in fact it's a lookout post for our cat Toadie. Here's the robot boat. Snoopy waiting to make another attempt across the Atlantic this year. He was televised in 2012 live by the BBC and on Radio Solent. Yes, one of the many cameras. So, I don't know whether they've decided what car they're going to take yet. Mine there. June's usual routine is for mine to be shifted out onto the road. But, of course, they might take Samantha's if June drives it, because Samantha doesn't think of wearing different shoes. Anyhow, let's see how they're doing. Of course, it's quite predictable that it's going to rain so much, but anyhow. Oh yes, I'll just point out these. The flatulent loam from Australia. They were mentioned on the news today. Warning signs. Obviously cameras everywhere. That one. Crazy ex-NATO scientist. And of course the important thing is the water squirters loaded with water paint acid, DNA tracer or nerve agent. Robin would not be mad enough to test these. Or would he? Right, let's just see how they're doing. So, what's happening? You off soon?
Yeah.
Ah, fine, okay. Have you decided which car you're going in?
Probably mine.
Ah, okay, fine, yeah. Okay. Right, so you're off. I've got the video running on a long clip. Don't trip over the mat. Right, okay. I shall come in here and of course take a look at what might happen. We'll see. It's not raining at the moment. Obviously there is a forecast, but of course it's always useful to know exactly when the rain's going to hit, at least within a few minutes. So let's just see. Let me see, I've got it bookmarked here. One of the websites. Let's just see. There's loads of rain coming in, and according to that, the latest guess is it's going to get really strong about then, after 9 o'clock. But that sort of prediction is changing all the time. So we'll see what happens. June didn't put her tracker on charge last night.
Now the time is 8:42.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, so that will go flat soon, but it's always useful for many purposes. Ah, right, okay. Samantha's getting into the car. That's where Juna put her. You're not going to drive with the roof down then? No. Oh, goodness me, I wonder why. Oh, it's... June? Yeah, well, the prediction's changing all the time,
Yeah.
but the current prediction is that it's going to bout down after 9.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
And so no.
I think we've got rain up until about 12 o'clock.
Yeah. So that'd be good if that text that I sent you is self-explanatory, but if that could be forwarded to at least Sue with my mobile number and things, and obviously anybody is welcome back here. Well, particularly Sue. Give her one of my old Chromebook books for a little while after seeing it. But, right, all set. It's me, Samantha's actually got different shoes on. That's hysterical. Right, let's hope they enjoy their tennis, what there is of it. The most important thing, of course, is meeting the guys, as always. Of course, the spot tracker is just a spare one that for Snippy's robot boat, but it's in a box so that it can be tested, even though these little solar panels are not really enough to keep it going all the time. And of course, yesterday's track to the tennis court and back wasn't on the spot tracker because the battery had gone flat. I got a warning message to that effect. So I'll put it back on charge. There you go, it's a Trace Spot Satcom tracker. Very expensive airtime, but it works anywhere in the world, including in the middle of the oceans and deserts without mobile phone coverage. And it's an ordinary little radio control battery and a radio control battery charger. So now it's being charged up. For those who haven't seen the terrible state of the inside of our house, just look at it. It's all a matter of priorities, even when people are in good health. There's only so many hours in the day according to what priorities are. One or two of my mates enjoy doing things like keeping their place spick and span, doing their own housework. I'd rather get somebody in. June wouldn't have that. This has been June's project for, crikey, 2 years. Our newsletters will show no progress. It's been waiting for plaster. I'm very happy for it to remain that way, as I say publicly, because it just makes it public what happens if June decides it. In fact, the only progress was made quickly was when the wiring was done. When was that? A year ago? Mate came past and said, oh yeah, I can do that. At a sensible price, job done. Right, that's the time now. Maplin radio clock. Used to be Maplin something before it was closed. So why am I so open sharing what a terrible state our house is in? This is the study, the only patch of the house that I'm in charge of, sort of. The answer is it's another way of maybe getting the interest of the right guys to do work. For us, well, for me, it's basically handymen that have got lots of common sense and can do things, and of course gardeners as well. That's my emails. Again, one might have the latest technology, But there's a big difference between relying on it and exploiting bits. There's the closed circuit TV. Off the shelf kit. Again designed in Australia originally. Right, I think that's it. People will be glad to know. So let's just see what else we've got here. Things of importance to the family. Bringing back old memories. Like Samantha's birth when I was born for. Not easy to do stuff unscripted, is it? NATO's birth when I was working for NATO over in Holland, where we spent the first 10 years of our life. But again, a very long take, which somebody, not me, will have the time to edit. Let's go to the website, gpss.co.uk. First thing is whatever you're looking at it on, including a small phone, if it's got high enough resolution screen, and the test of that is that top line. These pages may not present clearly on small smartphone screens. Please use a normal large screen on a desktop, laptop or tablet in landscape mode. Thank you. Copyright statement. All that is on one line. Most phones currently in 2022 don't, unless you buy the right kit. But of course one could use a cheap little old PC. That was £70 I think. As it happened it was a Lenovo, but that doesn't really matter. And again running an old operating system. So let's go to look at the YouTube channel. So I'll click on the headline that says YouTube channel, and rather than searching for it, this simply shows videos from me with the latest first. So that was yesterday at the Royal Ascot Tennis Club doing gardening. Before that was that lovely Jubilee party on the Victory Field. That was the recce of the Victory Field. A visit to Eden College Gardens, open for the NGS charity, visit to another NGS place, and so it goes on, right? We absolute fans, both of us, of the National Garden Scheme charity, and I don't know how many £1,000s we put into that, but the important thing is the people you meet and the garden. So there are many of these videos, but since today's topic is probably things like tennis and rain, this was thrown together. There's me doing the gardening. Amazing how fast I can do it. That was caught on one of the closed circuit TV cameras. Yes, exactly, quite tiring work, and that was before I joined them at the tennis club. So the key thing is that video was just thrown together, raw sequence of pictures, then all the video clips. You obviously check to make sure you're careful what you film and photograph at the beginning, and yes, that's the dead mouse. So rather than waffle on, which I am very prone to do, and that's why I prefer to use other mechanisms, particularly on TV. Other people do a much better job. But the key thing is raw material that other people might make a good use of for some charitable purpose, or even just entertaining people. So it's coming up to 9 o'clock. Let's get the BBC Radio 4 news headlines. I did hear them earlier. They are good old low technology radio.
It doesn't really.
And I adopt my position near the closed circuit TV. my background, I'm a stickler for timers. A lot of my ex-RAF mates are. So my watch is accurate to probably 1 or 2 seconds as it happens. It's a pretty old watch. And the CCTV I've noticed recently is, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds ahead of the pips, and I'm not sure how accurate they are. One of the dames in Jags that we look forward to tomorrow, and Andrew Lloyd, I don't have the little pocket track here that speaks the time. But thank you very much for talking to us this morning.
That's all from us. Our editors today were Louisa Lewis and Dan McAdam. We just did the Buckingham Palace for Ollie Stoneley and Jack Hunter, and the studio director was Graham White.
Ah, there you go.
BBC News at 9 o'clock. Members of the royal family will be attending events around the UK today as the third day of celebrations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee gets underway. Prince Charles is expected to pay tribute to the Queen when he speaks at a concert held outside.
Always get the full sound file on my player, can't I?
Cambridge will visit Cardiff while Prince Edward is carrying out engagements in Northern Ireland. The Queen had been expected to go to the Epsom.
Well, the latest prediction is that yes, it will bout down about now, and then it'll be relatively dry. We'll see. Let's see if June's spot, did I say spot tracker? No, June's pendant tracker is working. Yes, it is. And despite the fact that she hadn't left it on charge, the battery has still got 75% in it. Last position was whatever it was, based on GPS rather than Wi-Fi, and according to that they've been stopped 14 minutes, which sounds about right. So that's where the position is. Depends on where she is. So that's where the little pendant tracker said she was, and that's the clubhouse just there, I think. Have I got it right? And the tennis courts. No, the clubhouse is there. That's the house next door. That's the clubhouse. There's the courts, and that's where the position was. That's my pendant tracker on charge. I'd forgotten to leave it on charge last night. It may not work, but let's try and make a hands-free phone call to June's tracker. Right. That is making the call. I'll try and put this on speakerphone if I can.
Is unable to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone. To record your message again, press hash at any time.
Hello, Robin here. Just checking whether the answer phone system works on the tracker. Haven't checked that for a few years. Right, that's it. Over there, that's that done. Thing I must emphasise is that there's probably much better products out there, but those trackers I bought, I don't know, 7 years ago, might be best part of 10, about £10 from China, plugged in a SIM card, and it was important what sort of SIM cards you put in. Not easy to get ones that don't charge you lots of money now. Yeah, there might have been a memory card as well, because that particular one has got a little camera on it as well. But anyhow, that's a... Don't forget, the important thing is, I'm not in the business of selling stuff. I haven't been for years. Just not worth the effort. And of course, the serious point is, if I was trying to sell something, it would hamper my efforts in other things for charitable reasons, because people say the obvious thing is, oh, well, he would say that, wouldn't he? Looks like the prediction has changed, and practically no rain now. Now, another way is looking out the window, but what I found is another useful tool is the closed circuit TV on one of the cameras that looks at the road. So I can see straight away that there has been a bit of a shower. It's got the road wet, but the key thing is you see it flooding down here. Decided to join me. He's he can be a bit of a nuisance, really. You know. You like Red Bull? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not promoting it, by the way. But yeah, you're helping me. I keep an engineering logbook in the diary, don't I? And there are hardly any notes there. The only trouble is that you can be a bit of a pain when you're helping me with it. And you like pens, don't you? You'll be careful, you might hurt yourself. Oh dear, oh dear. Of course, it's unusual for me not to have scratches on my hand, isn't it? Now, I was actually going to write some more notes in my diary, but you're obviously going to stop me doing that. Let's just see what the time is. Not too bad. Yes, that's my compass. Again, old technology. I think the Vikings used compasses. Not sure who invented it. Who invented the compass. Again, I expect you could Google it and find out. It goes back probably long before the Vikings. That's right, isn't it, Toadie? My pen alone. Look, I've got to write in it with it. Oh, you can be fierce, can't you? Oh, you're a horrible cat. But leave it alone. You've got to be careful because people think I joke all the time. But it's not only things like that which annoys me. It's when he gets a gun in his hands. There's another video on that elsewhere. There's a lot of fake news on the internet, but I mentioned cut of unedited video and pictures. Yeah, let's go from the start. Scarred Snoopy's robot boat. This is a first rough cut of unedited video and pictures. One of the cats, Toadie, is under instructions on the use of firearms by Bentley, and there is a glimpse of testing of the firearm a few years ago. That's very true. It's years since I did these. Now, can you ever come down here to see it properly? You see that tin can down the end there? Yeah. Right. Right, ready? I'm going to shoot now. Right. Okay, June, bring it up to show us. Right, so we go. Entry wound there. Exit there.
There's a trick.
Eh?
There's a trick.
No, of course not.
I
No,
know.
that's it. It must be true. Yeah, that was their friends, the Bansalls in the village. But there's a load more material there. I'm about to do the hoovering of that. What I won't tell you is that I'm using a feather duster at the same time because I believe in multitasking, and but I'm sure you'd rather see the expensive picture rather than the details. What shall we do later today? I fancy going to this food and music festival, partly because it's at Southville Park, which is where Frantis were going back a few years. And but before that, I better do some housework. Everybody knows I'm a stickler for that. Do lots of it. For example, this mud I saw got on the carpet earlier. I mentioned Southall Park and Ferranti earlier, and Franti did all sorts of pioneering stuff, and the important thing about these old brochures, they are very old, right back to 70s or 80s, and so nothing to do with what's going on, sadly going on overseas at the moment, like places like Ukraine. Nice if I get a bit of warning that they're getting back. Looks as though 10:33 there was a report, and no, that was the postman. So they normally get back here. Something for me for a change, and I think I know what it is, but yes, looks like no rain, so we'll have a look what's in the letter. I think I know. I can hear them arriving, but what we have here is the video of Mr. Postman delivering the letter. So it's just okay, lovely. I've received a very important letter. You know what it is?
Right.
Okay. Was the tennis good?
Yeah.
Nice and dry?
It had a little bit of rain, but nothing
That's
very
it.
much.
That's what I thought. Right,
Yeah.
brilliant. Okay. Let you get changed and things. So here's Mr. Postman delivering the letter. Very important letter, this. He wouldn't have realised how important it was. Look at the postmark. Majesty's Platinum Jubilee, 70 years of service, exactly. Royal Mail. Off eBay for sentimental value. Some Indian rupees in the condition as expected from the lovely guy who got them through to me, despite the problems on eBay and all the rest of it. I'd certainly give him some good feedback. June's pensioner pendant tracker, a bit slow in time, but it's got the correct position near enough. In fact, right now she's in the kitchen, and it says position is based on Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have to be GPS. And basically that's it. In fact, that position might have been, perhaps she was moving into the drive, I don't know, doesn't matter. A few little things were here. Google's got my position, but it looks as though the position is based on the postcode, which is at number 22. Well, at least that's the centre of the postcode information, and of course everybody knows I'm just there, 22 Armitage Court. But in time they'll probably fix it. Let's just see, it's still working.
Now the time is 10:57.
That's probably good enough. So let's now see what happens if I press that. Ah, that's working. That's the panic button. So now I'll see if I can open my phone. Hello? Yes, that's working. So it's the correct one. So that looks, so she can make emergency calls, but I'll try calling that number back, see if it works. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right, it's another call from the tracker. So it looks as though it's working, but don't know. I'll close it again. Could be lots of reasons for it. I've just received a text from June's tracker from when I pressed the button a few minutes ago. It takes a while for it to come through. But this is a dumb phone, so it just gives the information that she's pressed the alarm button and a lat long and a link, which on a smartphone should give a map. So I'll forward it to June, who does use a smartphone regularly, and she could possibly email it to me, but we can see what the effect is on her phone. June's received very quickly the text from the pensioner pendant tracker, and if you click on the link it might work and might give you a map if you're very lucky. Okay, it's going to, Google's asking you to do some things. The map, I suppose. There you go, that's not too bad at all. So it basically says where it was when the button was pressed, so see if you can switch to satellite imagery or anything. It was Nick Bansal who set up the Cost Cutter shop, who gave me my first Indian rupee note. There's a picture of us there and the rest of the family. There's also a glimpse of Nick in the background on my Playing with Guns video on the COVID page. The Playing with Guns video starts with that picture of June with my gun after and the health warning. And a glimpse of the bandsaws. It's years since I did these. Now, can you ever come down here to see it properly? You see that tin can down the end there? Yeah. Right, right, ready? I'm going to shoot now. Right. Okay, June, bring it up to show us. Right, so we go. Entry wound there. Exit there.
There's a trick.
Hey?
There's a trick.
No, of course not.
I know
That's it.
I know
It must be true. It must be true. It's on the internet, isn't it? A recent birthday present from Saskia, the daughter, was this note, £1 million sterling, which was legal tender just after the war, under the Marshall Plan. You can Google it up. It has been used recently. It was only the day before yesterday, at the lovely party in the park, that I got a chance to use the note. That was at the Victory Field, rather. I fancy getting a South Pepsi or something. And I don't know, that should show up in the light. £1 million quid. Right, that's 1 million, Lee.
Nice.
Right, okay, mate. What change you could give me?
I've got 99.99 pounds. No, I haven't. and I've changed. No way can I change £1 million. You'd have to take the whole bag. That would still be leaving you short.
Okay, right. Well, anyhow, it's a rip-off merchant anyhow. But don't matter. Anyway, listen. So what's the company?
Crown license. Crown.
Right, okay. There you go. Right, we'll come to some arrangement then.
Yeah,
hang on. Yes. That was a lovely party. You can play the video yourself, but this was the one at the Victory Field. I knew the Queen would be here again. There she is, participating in Sunning Hill events. The musicians. must admit, I did like that party.
Not bad, eh?
There's Jack Ponsford, who told me all about the Victory Field at their wedding, just there. But that was when he came home from the prisoner of war camp before the end of the war. Decide what we're going to do next. Is that the church magazine?
No.
Ah, okay. Fine. That was our walk earlier in 3D, tracking our walk. That's enough of that. Earlier I was getting confused between East Hampstead Park and Southall Park, both of which had divisions of Ferranti working there. So sorry about that. And I think that's a good time to wrap up this first rough cut of just this morning, because goodness knows what's going to happen this afternoon.